When Sergeant Cole Mercer stumbled into the ruins of Varenth Keep, he expected the usual ambushes, traps, maybe a few straggler hostiles from the Hollow Legion. He was a soldier, after all, part of a fragile alliance between humanity and the vampire race against a common enemy. What he did not expect, however, was to find a princess. She was laid out on the shattered marble floor, pale and trembling, with small fangs just visible past her lips. Her silver hair fanned around her like spilled moonlight, a stark contrast to the grime and decay of the ancient keep. Cole's rifle came up on pure instinct, the barrel aimed squarely at her chest. It was a reflex, drilled into him for years. Long before the Hollow Legion became a threat, vampires were the boogeymen, the ancient enemy. But the girl didn't even flinch. She wasn't in any state to attack, or even to mope. Her breaths were shallow, each one a fragile, desperate whisper. "Human," she rasped, her voice thin and brittle, like autumn leaves skittering across pavement. He almost said no. The instinct to deny his humanity to a vampire was strong, but seeing her like this, she looked so small, lost, and afraid. The fearsome predator was gone, replaced by a dying girl. He lowered his rifle, the metal clinking softly against his armor. "Yeah," Cole said, his voice surprisingly steady. "Name's Mercer. Sergeant Cole Mercer. You're the vampire princess, right, Lysari?" Her lips twitched, a faint ghost of a smile. "Princess Lysari of House Varin, or Awas." She glanced weakly at her own body, a frame so thin and shaking it seemed a strong wind could shatter it. I've no blood left. They drained me." Cole's training kicked in. He knelt beside her, his soldier-esque caution momentarily replaced by the medic he used to be before the war stole his peaceful career. "Who?" he asked, his tone professional, detached. "They wanted to break the alliance with your kind. They took everything." "Is there anything I can do?" he asked, a strange sense of duty compelling him, even though a cold dread in his gut already told him the answer. Lysari looked up at him, her eyes like fractured gemstones. "Vampires cannot drink blood from animals, only from sentient beings. But you humans, you don't regenerate fast enough. Your blood is too potent, too rich. I would kill you." A dry, humorless snort escaped Cole's lips. "Lady, if you think I'm the type to stand by and watch someone die, you don't know humans very well." "I do know humans," she breathed, a flicker of the old royal fire in her eyes. "Your kind fears us, hunts, us." "Yeah," Cole said, shrugging off his pack, "and yet here I am." She shook her head, a weak, desperate protest. But Cole wasn't listening. He was already rolling up the sleeve of his combat fatigues, exposing the scarred skin of his forearm. He had field-dressed his own wounds more times than he could count. What was one more? He pressed his wrist to her lips, the skin surprisingly cool. "Drink," he ordered, his voice leaving no room for argument. She tried to turn her head away, her strength failing her. "I will take too much," she pleaded. "I will drink." The word was steel. Her fangs extended with a soft, almost inaudible click. Her bite was sharp, delicate, and strangely apologetic. Cole hissed through his teeth as a jolt of pain shot up his arm, but he held her tighter, pulling her closer. He felt the pull instantly, a powerful, insistent draw. It felt like something reaching deep inside his veins and siphoning out his warmth, his life, his very essence. The edges of his vision started to creep with darkness, the world tunneling into a pinpoint of light. But he didn't move. He didn't pull away. He held her steady until he felt the drain on his life force become almost unbearable. Finally, Lysari tore herself free with a gasp, her eyes wide with a mixture of horror and renewed vitality. Her cheeks were no longer pale, but flushed with a healthy pink. The violent trembling that had racked her body had stopped completely. Cole, on the other hand, was not doing so well. The world tilted violently, and he toppled sideways, his body feeling like a sack of wet sand. The cold stone of the floor rushed up to meet him. "Human!" she cried out, her voice now strong and clear. She moved with impossible speed, catching him just before his head connected with the unforgiving marble. She cradled him in her arms as if he were something precious, something fragile. "I warned you." He blinked sluggishly, the world swimming in and out of focus. "Still alive," he managed to slur. "See? Humans are tough." Lysari pressed her forehead to his, an oddly intimate gesture for a royal princess. It felt strange, foreign, yet deeply comforting. "You don't understand," she whispered, her voice intense. "We vampires form bonds through blood. It's not romantic, not political. It's something deeper, something permanent." Her fingers tightened around his arm, her grip surprisingly strong. "I am bound to you now." Sergeant Mercer Cole would have laughed if he had the energy. The absurdity of it was almost comical. "Great. First time I save a princess, and suddenly I've got a vampire Klingon. This is not a joke," she said, her tone deadly serious. The playful, dying girl was gone, replaced by the formidable monarch she was meant to be. "I will feel your emotions now. Your pain. Your fear. If you die, I will feel that too, as if it were my own. And if someone, anyone, tries to claim you as their own, I will rip out their throat." "Well," Cole muttered, his mind struggling to process the information through the dizzying fog of blood loss. "New." She narrowed her eyes, a possessive glint in their amethyst depths. "You are mine." "Pretty sure that's not how humans work," he protested weakly. "I don't care." She rose to her feet, lifting him effortlessly, as if he weighed nothing more than a child's doll. Her strength was terrifying. "You saved my life. Now I will guard yours with every breath left in my body." Cole blinked, trying to clear his head as she began to move. "Huh? Princess? Where are we going?" The ruins were spinning around him. "To my throne," she said, her voice as cold as the wind whistling through the keep. She marched toward the broken archway that served as an exit, her steps purposeful and unwavering. "The traitors are still out there, and now they will not just be hunting me. They will try to kill the human who now carries royal blood." She looked down at him then, and for a fleeting moment, her expression soft. "Do not fear, Cole Mercer. Anyone who threatens you will answer to me." But as she carried him out of the darkness of the keep and into the pale light of the moon, he felt something strange. Tucked against her, he felt a profound sense of warmth, of safety. A fierce, unwavering protectiveness emanated from her, shielding him from the cold. He had set out to save a dying princess. Now, it seemed, the most dangerous vampire in the realm refused to ever let him go. And Cole had a sinking, undeniable suspicion that this was only the beginning of his troubles. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you never miss a new video. We'll see you in the next one.